Hello, investors. It is Ted Zhang, Associate Portfolio Manager with Revere Asset Management. Today is Wednesday, December 4th, 4:56 p.m., coming to you from Fort Lauderdale now with tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. State of the market, we're in an uptrend. We have the coveted four green arrows. Market leaders are acting really well, and we'll go over some of that. Short term above the 21 EMA, medium term above the 50-day moving average, and long term above the 200 SMA. What happened today? All around strength, S&P 500, Nasdaq, Bitcoin, actually S&P and the Nasdaq or the Qs made a new all-time high today, and we'll definitely get into the charts later. 21 over 21 list, up 1.23%. 14 up, 2 sideways, 5 down. Big 8, up 1.49%. RG8 up 0.96%. S&P 500 up 0.61%. RSP though, flat, up 0.01%. Qs up 1.23%. QQEW up 1.11%. Dow Jones up 0.69%. Mid caps up 0.28%. Small caps up 0.42%. Global 60/40 equity bonds up 0.41%. And GROTECTION up about 1.2%. So jumping right into the charts, starting off with S&P 500. Really not much to say. We are up 11 out of 12 days. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. With November 27th being the only down day. And we made a new all-time high today, trending nicely above the 8 EMA. Let me refresh the page real quick. RSP, a bit weaker because mega caps have taken over in the larger caps. So this is finding support, the 8 EMA, putting the hammer candle, still really healthy so far. Qs, because of tech strength and mega cap strength, this has also really been up 10 in the last 12 days and a new all-time high as well. QQEW, all-time high as well. So the Nasdaq equal weighted up 100, really all doing well together. Dow Jones, still tapping on the 45,000 level. Actually, we closed above 45,000 at 45,014 today. And so that is the first ever close for the Dow Jones average at 45,000. Just want a reminder, this is why we follow our rules, our moving averages. Who would have thought back in early 90s or even during the 2000 crash where the Dow fell to 7,000, or during 2008, when the Dow fell to 6,500, that we would be at $45,000 in the Dow. Over time, because of innovation, because of the United States government, because of our relatively more stable politics here versus the rest of the world, and all the entrepreneurs and innovators coming to this country, this is for most part is why our markets have done so well and continue to trend higher despite all the fear, uncertainty, doubt, crises, and wars that take place over the last few decades and throughout market history. Mid caps flagging extremely nicely, still below 3,400, but finding support at the 8 EMA. This still looks great. We led higher into all-time highs, but RS has declined so far recently in this price action. Small caps as well, flagging nicely above the 8 EMA. RS line is lagging now, but it did make a new high on November 25th. And so some rest, like I talked about, after 5 days up in a row is completely normal and healthy. VIX continues to dive lower. As I talked about, we are in the sweet spot now, below 200-day moving average of between 10 to 15. And as you can see, we are getting exactly what I've talked about, a smooth, nice, low volatile uptrend. Continue on. The dollar is starting to flag, but what's nice is we are rejecting this weekly level so far, but this flag does paint a bullish picture in the dollar. Typically, strong dollars speak for markets, but it really hasn't been the case so far. So we're still monitoring that correlation to see if it reverts back to previous times. Gold still stays suppressed under a declining 50-day moving average now and pretty much below declining 21 EMA as well. Gold miners below 21 EMA, below declining 50 just a week. Silver starting to poke its head above. Uh, we reclaimed the 8 and 21 EMAs. 50 days still above, which is flat. And then we also have this left side peak area around 30 that we have to get over. Bitcoin is extremely strong. I'll go to trading view for this. We tried poking its head out, but we still found resistance at the 99,000 100K area. And so this has backed off so far. Really nice flag. Double inside week, no, not double inside week after today now because we broke last week's highs, but pretty much double inside week-esque. Huge volume out of the base, out of this huge 8-month base, and volume has contracted significantly as we're building this flag here. After today's actions currently, this potentially just needs more sideways under 100K, and then over 100K, that will present a great entry. ETH, extremely strong, pushing for that 4,000 level. I've talked about this on the podcast. It has made a 70% move off the lows. Weekly moving averages and daily moving averages are starting to sort themselves out. And I believe we won't have a sustainable big move until those MAs are aligned and sloping, at least in a 45-degree manner. Continue on. We'll talk about some bonds real quick, stay in trading view. Yields backed off today. New day open, but we'll talk about yesterday or pretty much today during the trading day. Yields backed off. The 1 year was down 3.8 basis points, 2 year down about 5 basis points, 10-year down about 5, and 30-year down about 6. And so with that, bonds rose and they are starting to curl up off the lows, off support. So that is it from the inter-asset correlation. I'll jump right into the tail of the tape now. The VIX was actually up a bit today, 13.45. CNN Fear and Greed up 157. We're operating under the bull case. S&P, Nasdaq all-time highs, trading above the 21 EMA. News today, Trump appointed an SEC chair who's pro-crypto. Powell had comments about the economy and the landscape. One thing he didn't note was he said Bitcoin potentially will compete against gold, but not the dollar. And so now we have the trifecta in government policymaking with pro-crypto Trump, pro-crypto Scott Bessent, and this pro-crypto SEC chair. Just seems like Bitcoin Reserve inevitably will come to fruition. And there's starting to be talks that this might be the way the US pays off our huge deficit and debt problems if we do accumulate most of crypto and the world flows into crypto as well. And crypto, Bitcoin captures just more of the world's assets. Michael Saylor had a great video and presentation to the board of Microsoft. Highly recommend checking that out. It was a 3-minute presentation that he posted on X, and he just showed the potential share of the world's money that Bitcoin could capture. Day count up 4. We are up 11 out of the last 12 days in S&P, 9 days above the 8 EMA, 12 days above the 21 EMA. Expectations are positive. And pretty much the action today, we opened up 32 basis points. I messed up here. This should be updated, but we'll go check out. This should be updated right here. I messed up there, but we'll check out the intraday action after I go over the tail of the tape. We opened up 32 basis points and pretty much we shook out the lows for the first 30-minute candle, but then we rallied strongly into the close, making a new all-time high or closing at highs of the day. Strong sectors, bonds are strong, bond yields are down, mega caps, FNGS, Bitcoin and miners, software, and ARK-K. Oil and gas was down, dollar was down, solar, home builders, and China. What we did today, we added 1% snow, sold nail, and offensive sold 1/3 SSO because we're 3 ATR above the 21 EMA. So I brought our beta down to 1.89. Bottom line, all around strength, S&P 500, Nasdaq, and Bitcoin. So now I want to go to some charts of interest. I'm going to talk about, we talked about Bitcoin already, but extremely strong. IBIT continues to form this higher lows here and flag. This action closed at 4 p.m., but Bitcoin recently has retreated off those 99,000 highs. So some maybe an inside day or some days tight, maybe another couple drifting down days, and then a breakout would be awesome. Tesla, 5-star setup into tomorrow. Over 360 is the level we're watching, um, and that looks amazing. FNGS is what I want to emphasize today. This has had 4 days up in a row and staged a massive, huge breakout on just increasing volume. And I wanted to talk about this real quick. FNGS is a ETF composed of mainly the Mag 7, just the FANG, plus some other names. And just want to show off perplexity here. I was wondering what were the holdings, and quickly I put in FNGS holdings and it searched the internet and gave this to me. It's an equal weighted ETF of CrowdStrike, Broadcom, ServiceNow, Meta, Apple, Amazon, Google, Nvidia, Netflix, and Microsoft. And we'll go over all those names real quick as they're all super strong. CrowdStrike in the cybersecurity group broke out this cup with handle, had earnings, but had a bad reaction, but broke out this flag and saw a wedge pop today. Avgo, the semiconductor space, uh, found support at the 30-week moving average, and so far has broke above the AN21, but rejected by the 50 today. Now just blasts off into all-time highs. Meta continues into all-time highs after yesterday's strength. Apple also continues to trickle higher into more all-time highs. Amazon gaps up into all-time highs today. Google finds support at the 200-day after the DOJ announced that they want Google to sell Chrome. But so far, the market's taking that fine, and we broke this downtrend line and reclaimed all moving averages. Nvidia is super strong today. Wedge pop above the AN21 EMAs, above this left side peak as well. Looks like 150 tests will come as well soon. Netflix continues to float higher into all-time highs, and then Microsoft found support at this bundle of moving averages, which is starting to expand upward. Microsoft looks like it's going to test all-time highs sooner or later. Look at all these moving averages, all tight within 1% of each other. That could potentially lead to explosive action. And same with the weekly MAs too. So that is some charts of interest. Um, and we'll review the 21 over 21 list, just top five winners and top five losers. First one with Bitcoin strong, MicroStrategies was up 8.9%. It's actually starting to form higher lows, and this is actually looking good here. We zoom in on a 60-minute. It reclaimed 400. It reclaimed this left side peak. Now I'm looking at this horizontal level over here, which is about 420, 417-ish and change. This horizontal level here. With Bitcoin a bit weak after hours, it's down 1%, retesting that 400 level. Maybe we get another tight day like that, and then we break out. That would be an amazing setup there. Team up 7.1%, highest volume within the base, and just continues to move higher into new 52-week highs. Snowflake, we added on to this one. Highest volume ever on this gap, then built sideways for about a couple of weeks, and we broke out of this flag today. IBIT talked enough about Bitcoin, so we won't talk about that this time. Reddit breaks out this flag, continues higher, now above 150. It's shaking off the offering that it had. Twilio continues. This is perfect post-gap action, continues to trend above the 8 EMA, making new 52-week highs. As you can see, that earnings acceleration line is accelerating during this basing period. And that's often what can happen with a lot of these growth stocks. They'll go through a stage 2 uptrend, maybe even having mediocre earnings like we saw here. Valuations get extended, and then the market realizes overpriced, or some other just general market sentiment pushes these prices to depressed levels. And then the company really gets in the gear and really starts ramping up its earnings and sales, as you can see, for 8 quarters in a row. And now we're really breaking out to the stage 2 uptrend now, where price is confirming those earnings. VRT continues to hold up well above the 8 EMA. Let's run the flag here again. On the downside, Toast is down 10%. They're on an investor conference today, and this was received poorly by the market. This huge down day, biggest down day on huge, massive volume, definitely a warning sign. But it could just be an overreaction, especially after great earnings and even Ant's characteristics. Home builders were weak. We got rid of nail today, just broke the lows of that area back below 821 and 50. Palantir inside day, still above the AEMA, nothing to talk about there. ALAB, powerful day yesterday, tried pushing against 120, but reversed so far. Still normal action here. And then Bros, just reversed, but still above AEMA. So when you look at the bottom five names of 21 over 21, only Toast and Home Builders really have some ominous action, breaking key moving averages. The rest are just inside days above the AEMA, and that just indicates market leaders are strong. And so that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video. As always, we would like to hear from you. My email is ted@revereasset.com. My Twitter is ted_h_zhang. Our phone is 855-REAL-WEALTH. That is 855-732-5932. Our website is revereasset.com, and our YouTube is Revere Asset. We named our flagship portfolio GROTECTION. That means we want to participate when the market is in an uptrend and protect money when we're in a downtrend. If you're interested in becoming a client, please reach out. And with that said, I'll wrap it up for today, Wednesday, December 4th. This is Ted Zhang with Revere Asset Management, telling it like it is. Thank you for listening and have a great rest of your week.